Mike, can you hear us?
Yes, I got you.
We are now joined by Hofstra head coach Mike Farrelly following his team's 82-73 victory over UNC Wilmington. Coach, could you just give us an opening statement about today's game, please?
Yeah, so, I think our defense was kind of loose for way too long. There was periods in the first half where it was okay. Beginning of the second half, I thought we were terrible. We couldn't stop anybody. And, some transition, it was some second shots. I think Colin had the defense today, and he said that they scored 9 out of 10 possessions at one point in and around that time. It might have been 55-51 at the under 12. But we got their attention, We watched a video this week about adversity, and it was actually, a lot of people saw it on the NFL Network. I guess the guy from the Chiefs dropped the punt, and then Buffalo went in and scored real quick. And, it's Pat Mahomes and Kelsey, picking that guy up and saying, how do you deal with adversity? How do you respond? And Pat Mahomes said, be us. Be us. And we had talked about that all week, talked about it before the game, and it was a perfect time to talk about it right there. So we dealt with that adversity. We got stops when we needed to. The defense definitely changed. I thought Kevin Schutte was unbelievable. As good of a game as you can have without scoring. 6 rebounds in 10 minutes. The impact he had defensively. Certainly one of our unsung heroes. Like, he was great. You talk about Omar Silverio and his scoring and what he did today. Certainly a terrific outing and good to have him back. And overall a really good effort. We locked down when we needed to and got the stops. And hopefully we can do it again tomorrow.
Again, if you have questions for Coach Farrelly, please use the raise your hand feature in Zoom, and I'll call on you. And we're going to start with Gene. Gene from Newsday. Go ahead, Gene. You can unmute yourself.
Sorry about that. Coach, I did kind of notice in the second half, it looked like the defense did step it up. You got some deflections and kind of forced them out of the rhythm. Was that something that you think was a big turning point for you guys?
Huge, yeah, 100%. I think it was that, we preached it during every timeout. I said, they got 8 points. They're on pace for 80. They're on pace for 80. They're on pace for 80. Now they're on this pace. But yeah, I got to that point of, hey, you see, they're just keep scoring. This is why we're losing now, because they keep scoring. So we did a good job, making some adjustments. But the biggest adjustment was our energy and effort, and they played harder. Like you said, got some deflections, crowded some areas, took away some 3-point shots, made it hard for them. And I'll tell you what, during that one stretch too, they scored a couple times really, really late. Harvey banked one in. We gave up another bucket late with some really long possessions, which is great. We got to get a little bit better in those situations, converting those. But yeah, defense completely stepped up and changed the game.
And I know a little bit your 3-point shooting kind of went a little bit cold after the beginning. Was it kind of a concerted effort to get the ball inside and to get to the rim, to get some easy baskets?
Yeah, I think we're getting to the point of the year where we know, hey, who are the guys that can make shots? I'm not sure if you lost me there.
Yeah, for a second.
So we know who we are, right? Who are the shooters? Who are the drivers? Who are the playmakers? And getting the ball inside Isaac, right? We knew Isaac was going to have some opportunities down there. They switched a lot. They threw some bodies at it. It was really crowded, but certainly made a concerted effort to get the ball into him. But, you look across the scoreboard and a lot of contributions from a lot of people, starters off the bench, which was good to get a little bit of depth back and have some firepower off there. But certainly getting the ball inside. But, we feel confident in what we do, and all these guys can certainly shoot and score and make plays for themselves.
Our next question will be from Andrew. Go ahead, Andrew.
Coach, coming out of that final media timeout, your team went on a 9-0 run and really blew this game out of the water. What was that talk like in that final media timeout to your team? Was it to step up defensively, offensively? What was that talk like?
Yeah, just a little bit of at that point, with them pressing all the time, that they were going to trap. They were probably going to be a little bit more aggressive, trying to get some points off of their defense. So kind of the dual edge of, one, we have to get stops, and Kramer said it, and it's, look, every game in this league is going to be a grind and close games. There just aren't a whole lot of blowouts, right? Almost all the games we played, especially when you go on the road. I've referenced that before. So in that, it's okay. It's 4 minutes left. If you can get the next 2 stops, game might be over. It's just that turning point of like, okay, can you go on a little bit of run? Can you score twice and get 2 stops? And then that 5-point lead becomes a 9 or 10-point lead. And then pretty much the game is over. And that's thankfully what we got to, so we got those key stops when we needed to, again, just, really dialed into where their playmakers were, found Okoro, found Gadsden, all those guys, and did a really good job.
Our next question will be from Jerry. Go ahead, Jerry.
Hey, Mike. Obviously, you'll be satisfied and happy with any win, but you utilize some really different lineups down the stretch there. By necessity, obviously. What's it say for you guys? You're able to win like you did, mixing and matching, and playing some guys late who probably haven't seen this much playing time in situations like that yet this year.
Certainly, and again, a little bit because of availability too. We haven't had, this is the closest we've been to having a full roster of everybody available as we've been since the beginning of the season. We did play 4 freshmen today. I don't know if we've ever played 4 freshmen. Glad to see Zion get out there and get some experience there in his first game. Glad to have him back. But yeah, certainly different lineups and guys stepped up, and I think that's the beauty of it. Today was Omar. Vukash was good too. He made some really good plays in the first half. But Omar was really dialed in, made some good choices in transition. Obviously, a couple of big shots as well. So we kind of rode with him. We tried to get Kevin in there for defense as much as we could there. And I'm not sure if I referenced him before, but David Green's going to be a really good player. I promise everybody that he has it in him, and we're starting to see it more and more. It's got to be more consistent. It's got to be all the time. He's just got to learn. But he's getting there. And I've been on him pretty hard this week, especially the last day or two. And for him to respond like he did today, a couple key buckets, free throws, rebounds, was a great job. So one, good to have a lot of guys back and some different options to go to. And credit to the guys. They were great.
Our next question will be from Jermaine. Go ahead, Jermaine.
Hello, Coach. Congrats on the victory. Joe Pridgeon, he was getting off on you guys a little bit, taking advantage of that matchup with Isaac Conte. How did you galvanize those guys into stopping him in that second half?
Yeah, he really did. We tried to wake up Isaac a little bit of like, hey, and look, he had a good game against us last year at Holy Cross. He was the Patriot League Freshman of the Year last year and had 16 points and 7 rebounds against us. So we showed those clips this week of like, no, dude's good. He's a really good player, and he's good in the middle of the zone. And it can't just be a one-on-one thing. Now, we have to take pride in our one-on-one matchups when you do get matched up with him to get those stops. But it shouldn't just be a one-on-one. I thought we had a couple of nice digs in there, maybe not let him feel as comfortable in the second half. But still, you look at his stat line, he had a really, really good game, and hopefully we can do a better job on him tomorrow.
Our next question will be from Gene. Go ahead, Gene.
I might have missed it. Coburn, he wasn't available. Was it an injury thing or what was
Yes. Yeah, Tariq was out with an injury, unfortunately, today, and will be out tomorrow as well.
And then, to have Omar come in, did you kind of plan on him getting those minutes, or was it kind of a flow of the game as he got into it and you kept him?
Certainly, with Vukash starting, obviously Vukash has been playing. Omar's been out for a while. Knew Omar was going to be our first sub in off the bench, right? I was trying to get him in at the first media timeout. I actually forgot and didn't get him in for a couple more minutes. But we knew he was going to be the first sub off the bench, first perimeter sub. And was going to be good against their pressure. Obviously, he can make shots, gives us another really good ball handler in there as well. So, that kind of worked out for us. Yeah, so we knew he was going to be a key part. Did I know he was going to play? What did he play? 27 minutes? No, I wouldn't have probably said that. But you never know, right? He was playing great, and you stay with him in the flow, and hopefully he can keep that going. That's what he's capable of, and he's not going to have this type of game every game, but he can really help us because he can score. He's a really, really smart player. He doesn't always show that all the time, but he's a really smart player. He knows our defense really well, and obviously he was great tonight, and we went with him, and certainly big reason why we got the win.
Our next question will be from Jerry. Go ahead, Jerry.
Hey, Mike, you mentioned it earlier. Bethea made his debut this year today, and obviously he's had a really rough year. What it means you guys to be able to get him in there, and how much did it mean to him to be able to play finally?
Yeah. I mean, man. The adversity he's going through, and some of it's been documented, some of it, but people don't even know the full story. He's been through a lot. All college kids have been through a lot this year. It's a much different college experience, and doing quarantines and this and that, and obviously him with an injury, and in addition to family stuff. I was really happy to see him out there. He's still, believe me, he's had like 4 practices since he hurt his hand before Thanksgiving. So he's still got a ways to go to get back into it. But again, unbelievable kid, unbelievable character. I'm so happy that he was able to get out there, and he's just got to continue to grow and get better and get back to used to playing basketball again, because he really hasn't in 2 months.
Mike, thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.